What's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 2 of Aubrey McDade Jr.'s podcast. We left off, man, the stories that came from his childhood. All these things always blow me away. You go, man, how does somebody survive shit? They survive. And I thought about this after you and I talked the first time and about your story and going through it all. My wife and I were talking about it and just going through some of the scenarios and and I'm like, man, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you, as a kid, I don't know how you survive. But I truly believe that everybody has a purpose. There's a purpose, and whatever it is you went through is there's some other purpose for it. And I still believe that that's what you're doing now. It's all led you to what you're doing now and how you help kids and the whole, you know, talking to people and speaking. And in other words, it's a platform like this one to help you help others. And that's so I I, I don't understand why. Like I said, I quit trying to understand things. I told somebody the other day, I quit trying to understand like life and death because people ask me that question all the time about death and stuff. And I always say I had a different perspective probably than everybody else because I did CPR on 3-month-olds that didn't live and 103-year-olds that lived 2 more years. And you're like, how do you make rhyme or reason to that? Why does that 3 month
Right.
old only get 3 months here? You know, and the lady who's seen the Depression, 2 world wars, and all kinds of stuff, she she don't even want to be here anymore. She, she ready to go. And so, how do you make rhyme or reason to that? And and so you just can't. You just got to realize that there's a reason, a purpose behind everything, and you know, and so here we are. So Aubrey finished up last time talking about his childhood history and then 9/11, and now he's fixing to go fight for the first time and get to
Yeah.
do what he's trained to do. And you know, that's whatever you talk to any Marine, that's exactly what they're looking for. I want to go do what I was trained to do. And um, so there you go. Just I'll let
Yeah.
you tell that story, man.
I'm glad you said that, man, because that's the furthest thing from the truth for me. Hey, what's up, everybody, man? It's been a minute since I seen y'all. This is the last time we talked, man. The Lord been moving my life in a pretty special way. So before we get started, I want to talk to y'all real fast. I know I told y'all last time. I think I talked about my book, Real Shit. I put that one on pause. Not on pause. Not It's not gonna come out, but I put it on pause to write this one. It just feels more fitting to write this one since the 20-year reunion, even though it feels like yesterday. The 20-year reunion of this fight that I'm going to talk to you guys about here in a minute is this year. So um, it was only right for me to go ahead and get it out now, especially when the Lord got his arms around me, man. The first time I went through this, y'all, I was going through it by myself. Like I told you guys, the last time we talked, my dad was killed when I was 11. My mom had nothing but deadbeats in our life. And, I didn't really have anybody of a male figure, a male example to be able to have this kind of embrace with, this kind of conversation with. So now that I'm writing a book and I get a chance to talk to y'all about it today, uh, the Lord got his arms around me, man, and it feels a little different. It hit different. I get a chance to relive this experience different and process it different. So, yeah, so the book is going to be called Fallujah Hath No Fury. Have you ever heard of the saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, or something like that? I'm kind of spinning off of that because I think, yeah, I believe it applies. Um, and So the goal is 100K. In the Marine Corps, we call the books that the recruits learn from, we call them knowledges. So I got a goal to sell 100,000 knowledges, and a goal to help 100 kids. become leaders out here in the state of Texas through our nonprofit program, Life Changer 365, where we establish presence in the absence of presence. I was listening to a Simon Sinek TED talk a little while ago, and he talked about being successful, you solve the crisis that pains you the most. And me and my pastor, Antoine Stewart, we believe that presence, the absence of presence, is probably the biggest crisis, the biggest pandemic that we experience. So if it is to be, it's up to us. So let's go out here and get them and get to it. So yeah, like Mark was telling you guys, man, I left off getting ready to go to combat for the first time. So let me give you guys a setting again. Remember, 9/11 had happened. We went through all the whole thing, and we got our assignment that we're getting ready to go. We're going on a MEU. I think it was the 22nd MEU that we were on, and we deployed to Mosul, Iraq from there. But on that day when I left, my son, Aubrey McDade Jr, was born at 5:03 that morning on March 5th. And the same day, March 5th, I left to go to fight this war at 217 that afternoon.
Yeah. Man,
they had to fight tooth and nail to get me out of that hospital, man. I wasn't staying. I wasn't leaving without cutting my son's umbilical cord. So I cut his umbilical cord. I was able to sleep with him, fed him a bottle, changed the pamper, and I had to go. It was really hard to digest that deployment, because I left with the mindset knowing I know who I am when it get down to it, man. I am my brother's keeper. I learned, I grew up as a kid, my brother not coming home, he all scratched up and I don't have anything. So I'm going to fight till the fighting to stop. I know that
right.
about myself. And I went to this deployment knowing that if it came down to it, I wasn't going to come back, and my family and stuff was going to be squared away with the insurance policy from the Marine Corps. Right. So
Yeah.
I just got married, bro. I just got married. Ironically enough, man, yesterday, 2001, I just
Wow.
got married. And then March 5th, 2003, I'm going to Iraq. I got a new wife. I got a new son that whether I see them again or not is not even a thought in my mind. I'm just worried about dealing and the killing. You know what I'm saying? So we go out here and we deploy. And we're
Man,
on the ship first. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the podcast before. There was a guy named Tom Lynch who was on, and he was telling his experience in Desert Storm, and all the things that he saw, and but we were talking about a young man who was now in the unit he was in, that he's kind of mentored or whatever, and now he's fixing to get deployed to Israel. So apparently whatever this unit he was in, it's one of those, they're going to get civilians out and provide security around the city. And I'm like, that sounds like long-term stuff. It
Right.
doesn't sound like it's just we're going to go in real quick and be gone. And I know that's what the Army does, right? If they go, you're there for the long haul.
Yeah, about 18 months. Yeah.
And so, we were talking about how you as a kid, now you have a kid, and you're having to leave that, and how tough it is. And I hate it because I don't necessarily, I always tell people I love my country, but I'm not a real big fan of my government right now.
Right.
And
Yeah.
And I hate the fact that things like that have to happen, and young kids who get paid shit money are expected to go fight those kind of wars and deal with the shit that you deal with now as a man for grown men who aren't willing to go do it. And they do it. They're creating these wars for money and creating for whatever reason. And man, so that whole leaving as a kid, man, I can't even imagine having to, hey, great, I got a new baby. See you. Maybe the last time I see you. Only time I see you. I mean,
Yeah.
that has to start, right? That it's like you go, okay, I got trauma. That it's like an extra addition to the trauma you're fixing to, right? That you're fixing to have to go
Right.
experience in the first place. It's like that's how you
Yeah.
start your whole thing. I just can see my baby, and now real good chance I ain't gonna ever see him again. Crazy.
Yeah. This right before my 22nd birthday, bro.
Yeah. So you're still a kid.
Right before my 20. I'm still a kid. Yeah, man. I go on this deployment. I got to process this stuff, man. And while I'm on the boat, I told y'all about my childhood, man. So I'm a hustler. It's always been in me. I'm not gonna get in trouble, but once I figure out how to get it done, I'm gonna get it done. So when I get on this boat, bro, and the first two dudes I meet on this boat is Johnny Terrell and Rydell Terry. Uh, Terry, country boy from North Carolina. Terrell think he a pretty boy from New Orleans, Louisiana, and they the cooks on the boat. But they some real in shape dudes. They got the muscle on, they doing their thing, but they got these low fades with the waves. Like they got some seasick wave haircuts going on, but the haircuts are trash. So they looking around and say, "Hey man, do y'all got a barber with y'all? Did y'all bring a barber with y'all?" And I just kind of hear them talking. I walk over there. I said, "Man, what's going on?" "Yeah, man, we run the mess hall and this, that, and that, and all this other kind of stuff." And we started talking. I said, "Man, yeah, I cut hair." And then so we go to the barber shop. I find and they hooked me up. They say, "Hey, man, you got front of the line mess hall privileges. You come to mid rats. I give you some of the food from the Chiefs mess. Man, you give us
Yeah.
front of the line, barbershop." Long short of it, man, they hooked me up with the senior chief, and senior chief hooked me up with everybody. I had the ship store, and I was a barbershop, so everybody trying to look good on the boat and all this stuff. Man, I was like Frank Lucas on the boat, bro. Like I had the hookup with everybody, man. I had a good routine. I was working out like 3 times a day. The child who was getting wasn't really all that, but you pick the protein to ask for double of that, and I
Right.
had the hookup, so I was able to eat what I wanted to eat, man. So I got in pretty good shape and everything. Um, and they had an email room, man. So I was able to. I had a connection with him too. Let him come to the email room and everything, and I mean, I let him come to the barbershop, get a haircut, and I was able to be hooked up in the email room and stuff. So I was able to talk to my wife at the time and everything on the email, and it was good, man. She was at peace. I was able to get a lot of pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is March. We did this until about May, man, and then we got the call that we were going to secure an airfield in Mosul, Iraq. This whole time, I hope we don't go, man. I done made myself a life. I was living as good as the captain of the boat, bro. Like I was lit on the boat.
Right. Right.
Um, and it was like Groundhog's Day. I always had something to look forward to. Had my workout periods throughout the day, so I can just kind of manage my day and stuff, and cutting hair and stuff throughout the rest of it. So I stayed busy, and I wasn't really thinking about uh, actually dying though. Like I had it when I first thought about it. When I first got out there, I was like, "Nah, man, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna see my son. I'm gonna see my new wife." And I had peace with that. But we get the call. We're going to Mosul, and man, we was on QRF, man, quick reaction force for like 3 days, bro. Like that junk sucked. Like we think we're going. No, you're not going. Go back to the berthing area. Hey, quick reaction force. We got to go to the flight deck and stuff. Get ready to go. No, you're not going. And they go back and forth. The yo-yo for about 3 or 4 days. We
Right.
finally go out there, man, and wasn't really anything happening. We secured this airfield. Uh, Man, I believe our company commander at the time, Captain Clark, Ronald Clark. Man, this dude he was legit, man. He was legit, man. That dude pushed us to our limits to be ready for any fight, like the any climb in place. Like he embodied that. He meant it, and we trained to the standard, man. So he found us something to get into. We just had to get our foot in the door. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we get out there and we're managing this airfield and everything. And we're securing this airfield. There's nothing happening. Me and my machine gunner Baylor, we got this machine gun bunker position that we got. I mean, machine gun position we done got for the defense, and we was out there so bored, man. We made us a little bench press out of sandbags and a little metal pipe that we found. We keep the guns ready, the 240s too, right? But then we got a call to leave the airfield and go secure the Bath Party House in Iraq. I'm not really sure what the building was. I think it was like more like a cultural center or something like that. And
Yeah.
we get there, man, and it was like at least 200 something people, man, out there protesting about us being there. They didn't want us to be there. And, we set our security up and set our perimeter up around the bath party house and stuff, and show that force and everything. And these people start picking up big ass rocks, bro. I'm talking about like bricks, but like boulders, and throwing them. And like I'm talking about like freaking winding up and letting them go, like
Yeah.
baseball throwing, man. And they start actually connecting with Marines. I was like, hell nah, man, y'all got me fucked up. I start throwing rocks back.
Right.
I
Yeah.
start throwing rocks back. Man, Sergeant Hudson, he got on my ass real fast. Hey, McDade, lock that crap up. So I lock it back up, and I was like, man, if I get hit with a rock, man, I'm going to jail. I'm shooting everything if I get hit with a rock.
Yeah.
But man, I was proud of us, man. Even the Marines that got hit with rocks, man, nobody opened fire. But then soon we were thinking about it. Our gunner came through. He was on a freaking mounted 50 cal, and the biggest building they had downtown near the bath party house, he just started lighting into the building with the machine gun, with the 50 cal. And you're thinking that everybody gonna start running. Man, these people start throwing more rocks, and there was pop shots coming from, different places and stuff. I don't think they were combatants though. I just think it was pissed off civilians. I don't think nobody, you know, on that shoot, move, and communicate stuff. You know what I'm saying? But either way, that dies down. Okay, we had to get a little aggressive with them. So we started shooting into buildings, and then the crowd dissipated. Once we popped off a couple rounds, they left. We went inside the bath party house, and that was our base, if you will.
Yeah.
Man, later that night, man, before we went out there, my squad leader gave me a picture of what the enemy looked like. They had the blue with their little rank on it and stuff or whatever. And me and my machine gunner, Dan Vela, shout out to Dan Vela. Man, that dude loved that machine gun, bro. Like, he actually had a weird fetish with his gun. Like, he was the most intimate guy with his gun. It was the cleanest gun. And out of his class, he was the best machine gunner. I'm not saying it because he was my machine gun. I'm just saying it because he was the best machine gunner to me. And man, they had this bank or something, bro. And the enemy was going inside this bank, and Vela saw it. He said, "Hey, Corporal McDade, I think I got something." So I look over there, I check it out, look at my picture. I try to call my squad leader Hudson, but I couldn't get him. So I run over there to him real fast. He was just in a couple of rooms next over, and I went to go talk to him, showed him the picture. He said, "Man, you know what to do." I go back over there, and I'm just thinking about it, man. I'm like, man, what's gonna happen, man, when Vela squeezes this trigger on this motherfucker, dog?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? So I like, Vela, fire. And Vela looking at me like, Corporal. I'm like, man, what's up, dog? He's like, Corporal, you need to give me the signal. I'm like, oh, my bad. I was thinking about it so much, man. And shit, we ain't gotta talk. I hit him across his back. Whoa, 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 whoa. He let it go, bro. About 2 bursts, man. I got a call from a sniper. I don't know who the sniper was. He said, who the fuck is that shooting that hog out on the 4th deck? I said, it's Black Magic. What's going on? It's my gun. And he said, bro, you saw the motherfucker in half. You saw him in half. I was like, what? And he said, you saw him in half. Like, his upper body's not touching his legs. That's fucking badass. And I'm getting ready to congratulate Baylor, man. But my man, he was holding on to the gun so tight, man. Like, he was like, Baylor was like, he was gone, like, for a minute. Not like
Yeah.
loony, but just like the adrenaline had him stuck.
Yeah.
So put him down for the night, man, and did fire wipes. And then they told us that the Army actually saved our ass, man. They got some intel that, I don't know who it was that was moving in on us to be able to do indirect fire with mortars and stuff, and then do like a flanking attack. They said they was setting it up for us. So they came and got us out of there in time, and we went back to the ship. For the most part, man, we was out there for about 20 days for the most part. And probably a little bit more than 20 days, give or take. But yeah, after that, man, the rest of the deployment was a cruise, man. We got our combat action ribbon from that deployment. So now we come on October 22nd, 2003, to some people I didn't expect to see again.
Yeah.
Now I got a wife. You know what I'm saying? She done put the work in. She done lost the baby fat. You know what I'm saying? She ready for her husband to come home. And I got to get my mind right to be a husband now, because I was like, 9/11 happened. I think I'm going out there on some Rambo shit. Like, it's going to really be something like that.
Yeah.
But this wasn't like that. So
Yeah.
now I'm back, and it's also time for me to get out the Marine Corps. I'm also supposed to get out the Marine Corps. I got a new wife. I got a new son now. She had a son as well. So I got 2 boys, and I got a new wife, and I'm coming to the end of my contract. So when we get back, all the short timers and stuff, they all motivated about getting out. And unknown to me, we go on our post-deployment leave. We come back to the base, and all the people that's getting out the Marine Corps, they are in what's called a short timer platoon. I'm getting out the Marine Corps at this time, so I'm in a short timer platoon as well. And my unit is gearing up, getting ready to train again. You know, we come back October, we take our post-deployment leave. They take us right into Thanksgiving. So we had some good family time, bro. Like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. And then we come back, we ready to train. The unit, they're gearing up to, I think they're getting ready to go to Mojave Viper. I'm staying back because I'm only getting out the Marine Corps, man, because I had a ankle injury. I was afraid to have ankle surgery. All these old freaking gunnies, the first sons walking around, all freaking hunkered over, like hunchback and stuff, telling me about naval medicine. I was like, yeah, no, I'm never doing that crap. So I'm gonna get out the Marine Corps. Man, so we're back in the rear party, man, and you know, just kind of just shooting the shit. Marines talking about what they're gonna do when they get out and all this other kind of stuff. But then I found myself a part of a conversation where they talking about what we may potentially face on the next deployment. Now, I'm one of those people, man, I've kind of had tunnel vision. I kind of just stayed in my box. You know, I train, I understand what the mission is, but if it's not my business, I don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a CNN watcher, a news watcher. I just know if it's a fight, I'm still on duty. We got to fight. It is what it is. I don't give a fuck why. It was just what it is. When they was talking about, when they said, I don't remember them talking about Fallujah, but I do remember them talking about like highly kinetic combat, like how Baghdad was, and we're going to experience something like that and something even worse. And I got pissed off, man. I'm like, shit, if that's what's going on, why the fuck are y'all getting out? If that's what's going on, why are you guys getting out? This is how I'm talking to them at that time, obviously. Why y'all getting out? Man, I did my time. I done fought my fight. I'm going to live my life. What life? You ain't got no life if 9/11 keep happening?
Yeah.
It really put a sour taste in my mouth with some of the dudes that I came in with. Some of the dudes that were senior to me.
Right.
But then I had to think about it, man. I still hadn't even made my mind up on staying in yet. I still got plans to get out. I got a woman who looking forward to me getting out because she done got notes about we done had to shoot at people.
Yep.
And she's like, yep, his time is almost done. I got a son. Man, I get back October 22nd. They say he hadn't walked. He lazy. He on his knees. All he want to do is scoot and be picked up. Man, this man walked 7 steps to me. The very first day I came back, he walked 7 steps to me.
That's
you know what
awesome.
I'm saying? So what am I supposed to do, bro?
Right. It's like things are just piling up. You're like, man, you can't. It's like all I want is a sign. I should go back, and this is what I get.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, I just got promoted to sergeant. I just got promoted to sergeant January 1st. So now in 2004, I just got promoted to sergeant. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm in charge of the rear party and everything. Yeah. And I'm just helping out around the battalion the best way I can while the unit is gone until I figure out something for myself. And they say, hey, McDade, we want you to be responsible for the transportation and checking in of all the Marines coming in from Geiger. Oh, yeah, bet, no problem. So, and I'm yoked at the time, bro. Like, we was getting it in. I'm about 190 pounds solid. Yeah. So I'm going over there, sleeves tight and everything, and pick them Marines up from Camp Geiger. Call them C4. Copic, Cleghorn, Kodo, and who was it? Copic. Oh, Castellucci. C4. Those 4 guys I'm picking up from SOI, Camp Geiger. I made their ass stand up when we live in Camp Geiger. Hey, that's Fairy Tale Land. Say bye-bye, Fairy Tale Land. You're coming to my world now. They got all their gear. We get to now on Lejeune, the streets are alphabets over on the infantry side. You got Alpha all the way to November and even further. But where we needed to go was on Oscar Street, which was DPAC. They got all their gear. I check them into the battalion. And they say, hey, McDade, you can take the 4 C's. It's easy. All right, cool. I got the 4 C's and I got all their gear. I check them into their barracks room. And where they could put all their gear, I don't make them put all their gear. They keep all their gear, and I walk their ass all around Camp Lejeune, getting their freaking packs, getting all the other gear. I'm just slaying bodies with the C4, man. Get them back there, get them all checked into their barracks room. This started probably about 1400 and probably 2300 later that night. I'll let them go to sleep. And but when I got home and I thought about it, after a couple of days, I'm training them. You know, I'm doing the best that I can with broomsticks and whatever we can. Nobody supporting me with training. And as
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, man, our unit is already gone to Mojave Viper. When they come back, there's no more training because they're going to give them time to go home with their families. And then we're going to go straight out to the deployment. And my mind was like, dang, man, these dudes are not going to have any real fleet training.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to turn it up on them, and I don't have no support. I don't have no range. I don't have no rounds. I don't have anything. And I'm trying to turn it up on the best way I can. So the best thing I can do is have a real conversation with them. And I tell them, I said, man, I'm not sure what y'all believe in. You know, I believe in the Marine Corps. You know, I wasn't really a man of faith at the time. I said, but the best thing I can tell y'all is ask for forgiveness. You know, you learn the REs. You feel like your life is on the line. Shoot first, ask for forgiveness. Don't go over there trying to be all squared away. Go over there, shoot to live. Don't shoot to kill, shoot to live. I gave
Right.
him that. And
Yeah.
it didn't sit right with me, bro. It didn't sit right with me. I remember me and my wife at the time, we was having a conversation, and she talking about getting out, and I'm just not really participating in the conversation because I'm just stuck like, these dudes not gonna have no training. Like, that's some real TV shit, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan type stuff.
Right.
Ain't gonna have no training, man. And it didn't sit right with me. And she seen it on me too. But she was just a shock troop, man. That girl just let me do whatever I need to do, and she held it down, man. So she told me, she said, man, I don't want you to feel no kind of way if you get out because of us. So you need to stay in. You need to do what you got to do. I was kind of hoping she said that. So I went to the BAS, aid station, looking for the battalion, the medical officer. He's the only one in the BAS, bro. He's the only one in there. So I'm like, hey, Dr. Kong. I only remember his name. That's my first time meeting him. I don't remember his name because it's an easy name, Dr. Kong. I say, sir, I need you to sign up for my medical record so I can deploy. And by this time, the unit has come back, and they're doing a training evolution at the Area 2 basketball gym, set up with ECPs, VCPs, entry control points, vehicle control points, and all that stuff, vehicle takedowns and everything. So they over there doing that, and they don't know what I'm doing. I'm working to come back, because they already done took me off the roster and everything. And Dr. Kong told me, he said, man, the ligaments in your ankle are hanging like shoestrings. I'm not going to let you go over there. You're going to be a liability. I said, sir, I done did this crap for like 4 years. I'm fine. I did
Yeah.
this for 4 years. I'll be fine. He said, I'm not signing up for the medical record. I said, sir, look, I need you to do this, man. I told him what I just told you a few minutes ago. And he was like, he said, I won't do it unless you pray with me. Bet. Where we going? We get our knees right there, and we
Yeah.
pray, man. I take my medical record to the Naval Hospital and get somebody to sign off on it for me. And I run over to the basketball court, man. I tell him I'm going with him. And Gia Forte was like, Daddy, don't shit me. Don't shit me. I said, no, G, I'm going to go. Gia Forte, man, probably the best machine gunner, man, I ever met. That dude is like freaking brain on that freaking machine gun, man. But so when I come back to the unit, I take over the section, and he takes over platoon sergeant because our company gunnery sergeant at the time, he wasn't able to go. So we get an opportunity, man. Now I'm a sergeant, and I'm in a platoon sergeant billet, so I get a chance to sit in this brief about what's going to happen for Fallujah. And I'm sitting in there, man. They saying a whole bunch of high level stuff that's over my head, so I'm not trying to take notes. I'm just listening so I can follow along. And they're telling us about the 3 phases of it and everything. You know, first phase, they shaping the city, letting them know we done wage war on them. This was happening. Then second phase, we come in and turn the light on, kill the roaches. For the most part, they didn't say that, but you know what I'm saying. And third phase, we let the people come back in and start getting their way of life and sustain it without military presence or something like that. And they were talking about the sequence of events and scheme of maneuver and all that stuff. All that stuff I understood because, like I said, we trained so hard. When he talked about it, I was able to visualize like what we possibly would be doing for the most part. But they start talking about these markings. The Iraqi special forces are going to be chaperoned by the Army, and what's supposed to happen is the Marine Corps, the Marine unit. I don't know the unit placement, but I just know 1-8 was in the gut. Like we chucking a rock, we going through the gut of Fallujah, and we were supposed to clear the city, and the Army is supposed to come in behind us and keep the city secure. And they're supposed to chaperone the Iraqi special forces, which is supposedly the Iraqi coalition, I guess, is gonna fight for their people or whatever.
Right.
Those sissies wasn't doing none of that. They were just trying to walk the line. They'll jump on the American side when it's good. They're gonna jump on the other side when it's good. That's all they were doing, flip flopping back and forth. But so
Just trying to
me,
stay
man,
alive.
I caught. That's it. No, they're not staying alive. They just trying to get the best of both worlds. If I can go
I
over here
get
and praise Allah and get something, if I come over and praise Americans and get something, and let y'all kill each other, and
so it
I can
was
figure it out. Yeah,
that was like a hustler watching a different form of hustling.
yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it, man. But yeah, he said they're supposed to be chaperoned by the army. I got the thing called courageous curiosity. I've always had it. I'm gonna ask the question. I don't care how stupid it sounds. Laugh all you want to. Just answer my question. Hey, sir. So if the Iraqi special forces are in our area of operation and they are not with the army, it's safe to say that we deem them as enemy, right? Good to go, Sergeant. I asked, sir. Just for the record. Then he says the Iraqi special forces are going to be marked with the red bandana on the right arm and a white bandana on the left leg. I look around. That's okay with everybody? Like, we got tricolor camis. We got some old desert digital camis. We got something we could put holes in. That way the enemy can't adopt the marking so easily. At least they got bullet holes in there. Like, nah, I'm gonna shoot you too and match your uniform.
Right.
So uh, so I stand up again. Good afternoon, sir. Sergeant McDade, Bravo Company 18, kill. What you got, Devil Dog? What can I do for you, Sergeant? I said, sir, just like I said, sir, I'm sure we got a couple hundred tricolor camis. Ain't that many of them folks. Can we, hey, Devil Dog, don't wait up everything. Go over there and get the job done, right? Right. So, excuse me real fast.
No, you're
I'm good. All right,
you're
cool.
good.
Uh,
So,
yeah,
are you
my
worried about
dude down there, y'all.
kids?
Yeah, my baby down there. But
No, don't worry
yeah,
about that.
man. Yeah, don't worry about he said don't worry up everything, Devil Dog, get the job done. Right. So we deploy, man. We get ready to deploy with the staging area and stuff around the battalion. The hardest part for me was working to be there for our family who they in some pain. Like, you're my leader, you're my person, you're our guy, you're leaving. But for me, I'm working to, give the hugs and stuff and work on encouraging them, but I'm dealing and killing in my mind. I'm like, no, I need to focus on, slow, steady squeeze, shoot, move, communicate. That's
Right.
what I need to focus on. These tears and stuff. Hey, you know, I'm sorry, but I did my thing. I didn't make them feel bad or nothing. But for me, I wasn't able to really feel that.
Yeah.
And we get ready to deploy. Man, the flight was awesome. I said, man, yeah, this how to set you up, man, for you go out here and get your damn top pot, bro. Like, give you the fine ass flight attendants and the 5-star meals and stuff and recliner chairs and shit and big screen TVs on the freaking flight. It was like freaking soul playing, bro. But we get out there, man. We get out there, man, and get to Al-Assad. Al-Assad is just one of those camps out there where the military has, established presence, and we do all of being able to respond type stuff out there. We get a chance to go there, acclimate. Again, you get to Al-Assad, it's nothing like where you're going to be at. They done Americanized it. They got Pizza Hut and Burger King and all kinds of stuff, man. So Al-Assad was cool for some R&R, but it's one of those things is like, it make you feel good because like, now I know this is like a mirage. This is not
Right.
real. Let me get to where I'm going to be at so I can get in my vein.
Right.
So that month that they tell you, hey man, take some time so your body can adjust and acclimate to the weather. You got to sit out there for a month. Al-Assad was cool, man. My Marines are always getting into some shit. I think it was Evans, bro. I'm pretty sure it was Evans. One day we had our little, I call them tent bays, but the little big tents that the people live in. We had
Yeah.
those out there, and I was in there asleep, man, and he coming up bursting and talking about, hey, that is some Marine child talking about he can whoop your ass. I'm like, what? I wake up and I'm wiping my face like, Evans, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm pretty sure it's Evans. And as I'm talking to Evans, bro, this Marine walks in. I don't know who he is, but in the military, bro, we don't break ranks. We
Yeah.
don't just walk in nobody's house. That's not happening.
Right.
So I move Evans to the side. I'm like, who the fuck is that? So I get up and I'm on beast mode, bro. Like, I'm about to beat the brakes off this dude, man. And He said, no, I don't want to fight, Sergeant. They told me you was a green belt instructor, and I really like MMA, and I just want to grapple you. I said, man, I don't grapple, man. I'm gonna beat your ass off your body. That's what I'm gonna do. I throw hands. I don't do no grappling. And he's like, well, I don't want to fight. I just want to roll with you. And now my Marines over there egging it on and all that stuff. So I'm like, hey, man, Sergeant G, like I said, he the platoon sergeant now. I'm a section leader. So I'm like, man, G, my guy, I'm not trying to get him in no trouble. He already told us, don't come over here and do none of that 1-8 shit. Lay low. And so, but me, I couldn't do it, man. This dude is in my house. I got to beat his ass, man. I
Yeah.
got to beat his ass. So one of them posted it, watch. And so we go on from standing the ground, and he started doing all the, the little wrestling moves and all that stuff and whatever. And I finally got my hands on him, bro. I got behind him, got my hands clenched. It was over. I'm talking about, I'm up, they see me, I'm down, bro. I was dumping this motherfucker on his neck. About 3 slams, bro. I got him up again, getting ready to get him, and G came in. They know. I'm like a dog, like red-handed, man. Like I'm doing something I got no business doing. So he said, you better not slam him, put him down. So I put him down, and now G want to talk to me. He said, man, if you break that kid, man, if something happened, man, we're going to be in a world of shit. I told y'all to lay low. I'm like, all right, G. He said, man, beat him another way. He said, he in your house, beat him another way, but don't hurt him. Don't break him. So we started going. And this little motherfucker, he's squirming, man. He's good. Like, I don't know how to do all that shit. Like the green button, you do a little key lock and you do a
Yeah.
little, a sweeping leg kick or whatever, but you don't do all that stuff he was trying to do. And he got me in a heel lock. But unfortunately for him, he got me in the heel lock on the ankle where all the ligaments and shit all stressed out, so it didn't hurt that bad for me to tap. I'm just up there trying to untie my boot. I'm just trying to untie my boot and get it out of there. G had left and he came back and we had to go to our brief and stuff. I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know the Marine's name, but he probably would have tapped me if G wouldn't have came over there and broke it up because he had me good. I couldn't get my boot out of there, but it just didn't hurt enough.
Yeah.
But anyway, long short of it, man, we leave Al-Assad. We left. That was June, give or take. We got there towards the end of June. I know it was close to it. 'Cause I think Rose either had his birthday at Al-Assad or maybe had his birthday at Haditha Dam, which is where we went to after we left Al-Assad. I didn't know that Iraq had a dam, bro. Like I'm really thinking we're gonna go over there, see cactuses and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Man, the sand is it's not even like sand, bro. It's like dirty baby powder with rocks. That's how the
Ooh, man.
sand is over there, man. It's the most disgusting thing, man, because it's hard to get out of your clothes. Your weapons stay dirty. You're cleaning all the time, and it tracks all the dirt. But we'll go to Haditha Dam, man. It was pretty cool. It was a real dam. It wasn't active, but it was a real dam. And we just ran security patrols out of there. Man, a couple of times we found a couple of guys with like tens of thousands of dollars. My platoon commander, he was a stand-up guy. He would let me be on what I was on. I like, sir, look, man, look, ain't nobody gonna know anything about this. We ain't having any call this in yet. He not trying to hear it. I'm talking. We turned in probably 200 grand, bro. We
Ooh.
turned in probably 200 grand, and I'm like, we were our Marine Corps, sir. Shit, like we could have kept something, man. But
Yeah.
it was good, man. And what we did was we would go back and forth between Haditha Dam and this place called ASP Wolf. ASP Wolf was just like a little old dunnage place from like Vietnam and the World War, whatever. Not Vietnam, but the World War, whatever. And
Yeah.
they had a lot of munitions and stuff that wasn't exploded or whatnot. And so we would guard that to make sure that they weren't coming over there scavenging and trying to create bombs or whatever the case may be. Finally, we all got put at ASP Wolf. ASP Wolf was like a little compound that we had. At first, it was just crap at first, man. But our company came together and we had some higher up resource support, and they gave us some power and stuff out there, man. So we had like a whole little village and stuff, man. So it was pretty cool. And we were still just doing security patrols and everything.
Yeah.
And this whole time we out there, man, Marines starting to get tired now, bro. It's like, man, I'm ready to get some, bro. Like we done did all this stuff, we done trained all this, we were living like this, living like savages. Like I'm ready to get some. Me, I was hoping it never happened. I was hoping it was gonna be a boring ass deployment. We was gonna get out there, be able to play some poker, play some spades, because that's all I was doing. You know, playing a little poker, playing a little spades. They hooked us up with some power, so we was able to get a little Xbox out there. Had Madden and freaking Fight Night. I was putting boys to night. I was tucking them in with Bernard Hopkins, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we had a good time. I was hoping it never happened. Man, I don't like telling the story, but it's powerful for me because of our words and the whole meaning behind one day you're here, next day you're gone.
Yeah.
We got the call, man. Hey, we're going to ITC, which is Iraqi Training Center for we're going to ITC. We're standing by to go in the city. And when I would hear Marines talking about, killing and all this other kind of stuff and ragheads and yada yada this, yada yada that, y'all know how we get when we get savage, man.
Yeah.
I'll put them on Corey duty, bro. Corey duty is where they got to go over there and fill up sandbags or old ammo crates to help fortify our position. Get your ass out there in the heat and work some of that anger off, man. I don't want to hear none of that stuff.
Right.
But at one particular time, they talking about it. We getting ready to go, and my mind is like, I can't even think. Like, you guys are excited about going to get some. Nobody's thinking about the second, third order effects. So I scream in the whole little spot we was in, lock it up. And then just loud enough for me to hear it. And I hear my man, Corporal Anderson, man, Aubrey McDade acting like a bitch. I said, Anderson, let's go outside, my dog. So we go outside, and everybody think we're going to fight, but I wasn't on that. Man, Anderson, one of my favorite Marines, man. That dude was hard as freaking woodpecker lips, bro. Like, probably 5'6", man, but 5'6" and soul of a 6'4" dude, man. Like, Anderson was my guy. So I get him outside, and I tell him, I said, man, if this shit is like what everybody's going to say, like everybody says it's going to be, man, all of us ain't coming home. All of us ain't coming home. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, we all aren't coming home. That flight we had on the way out here, it ain't going to be the same way on the way back if we go through this shit. And he expressed to me, he said, yeah, man, but how we supposed to release this shit? Like, this is all we've been talking about. It's all we've been thinking about. It's all we've been training about. We're supposed to be able to talk about it. I said, yeah, man, talk about it, man, but you got to respect the enemy. You got to respect the enemy, man. Like, anybody can throw a lucky punch in the fight.
Yep.
Anybody can throw a lucky punch in the fight.
Yep.
He like, Roger that, Sergeant. I said, yeah, man, can you call me a bitch again, man? I'm going to beat your ass. He clenched his jaw. He wasn't afraid of nothing. He was just like, I get it. He scrapped with anybody. He wasn't a punk. I wasn't worried about that. Yeah. But we got that straight, man. We dapped up, hugged it out. We go back in there, man. And he supported it, too. Like, hey, man, y'all lock that crap up. Hey, just lock in. And it was, the 7 tons picked us up maybe close to 2,200 probably. And this is in October now, and it's getting cold. This is our first time really experiencing the cold. We experienced all kind of dust storms and all that stuff, like that little dirty baby powder dirt or whatever I called it. It would get in the air, man, and you would have to stop moving. You couldn't even see your hands in front of your face. Like, it was like that, crazy. So we get to ITC, man. Everywhere we get to is dark, so you don't really get a chance to experience nothing until the sun comes up. We get there, we move in, set up our little spot or whatever. Most of us just stay up till the sun comes up, and we go experience ITC. Go to the chow hall and go to the little PX stuff they had set up. It was just like a Al-Assad, but it was like a starting point to actually go fight. But we was on our main side one time, and people were talking about how we smelled and how we looked, and it was more Americanized to where we couldn't even go over there and be comfortable, so we just stopped going. And we train, man. We train our asses off, bro. Tank integration, structure takedowns, all the stuff. Beating each other's ass. Like, we was doing a whole bunch of training, man. There's one particular time we were doing tank integration, bro. And they teach you, you got to grunt at all 4 points of the tank, kind of protect the tank, especially out there. You get a tank shot, there's like cool points. You know what I'm saying? Right. So courageous curiosity. Hey, I get it. We're protecting the tanks, but what happens when they attack the tank and they get us? And Gunner's son Brown, he gets pissed off. And Gunner's son Brown, I'm gonna say 5'7". I don't want to get pissed off if I say 5'6". But I'm gonna say 5'7", white boy, West Virginia man, and that dude is a Wolverine, dog. He picked up one of the biggest Marines we have, Goggin. Now Goggin is just a house, man. That dude is just a freaking. He gonna carry it, man. He gonna carry it. He got the saw. He got drums. He got all his gear, and he put his weapon down. And Gunner Son Brown picked this man up. Although I was impressed, I automatically knew. I said, man, that's 2 casualties. That's 2 people not going home, and we got to pick that Marine up like that. We finish that, man, and we get the call when we're getting ready to go to the city. We do our briefing and everything, And then we have the honor of receiving our initial brief from General Sadler. Now, I don't know much about him. I won't lie to you. I don't know much about him. I know he was the Regimental Combat Team 1 commander at the time. But Sergeant Major Kent was the Sergeant Major then. Man, I was proud of that brother, man.
Yeah.
I was proud of him, man. I was sitting up there front row when he was talking to us and everything. And it wasn't even no motivational speech and none of that stuff. It was just laying out the facts. These motherfuckers did, and we about to go over here and open he had to open a can of whoop butt on camera, but we all know what he was saying, so we all said it for him. We ain't give a damn about the camera.
Yeah.
We go stage outside the city. Fallujah is about 55 miles west of Baghdad. And we staged outside the city, just outside of their indirect fire assets, if they were doing that or whatnot. But we were close enough to where I was able to see things pretty closely. I mean, pretty clearly. Man, you wouldn't think Fallujah looked like it did. Man, Fallujah looked like a little Arizona town, man. It didn't really have the stucco and stuff. It was more like concrete, but the houses were pretty big. They were built pretty nicely. There was trash blowing all over the place and stray dogs milling about. And the city acted as a speaker. So he was able to hear the percussion from machine gun rounds firing through the city and them using the mouths to communicate with the combatants and stuff on the ground. And we're sitting out there, man. I'm just kind of looking around, getting a pulse from my guys and stuff and seeing if there's any friction points I need to put myself at, man. And they were just kind of cool, bro. Like they was chilling. I was looking at them. I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to shake the tree. Everybody good. Man, my first time ever riding in a track, they put us in the back of these tracks, man, and pack us in like sardines. And unfortunately for me, I got a freaking buttstock of a saw sitting right on my rib cage. So every time these freaking tuna cans would go over these sand dunes like they're on a freaking Forrest Gump shrimp boat or something, this daggone buttstock punching up in my ribs. So I'm thinking my freaking baby back's about to pop out. We finally get to our limit before we get ready to go into the city. The sun had just went down. It's probably maybe 2000, probably maybe 2100. We get to our line of departure and they let us out. We orient ourselves. We make movement, entry into this first building at the edge of the city. We get inside the city, and before we make entry, man, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, dog. Like it was explosions going all over the place. You see indirect munitions coming in, hit buildings. We got fixed wing flying over the top, dropping bombs. You see green, purple, blue, red explosions all over the place. And like I said, the city acts as a speaker. So the machine gun fire, you couldn't really tell where it was coming from because it's going to hit right here, but going to echo 4 or 5 different other places. It's like, man, what the hell is going on? And to put the ice on the cake, man, you're not going to believe this shit, dog. We was riding through the city of Fallujah in PSYOPs vehicles. There's just a Hummer vehicle with a whole bunch of speakers on it, blasting drowning pool, let the bodies hit the floor. I can't make this shit up, dog. I was like, man, this ain't real. I'm in awe, man. Like my Marines are pushing me like, Daddy, let's go, let's go. I'm like, what the hell is going on, bro? We go inside this building. I guess it's just our point for us to orient ourselves as far as like the order movement, how we're gonna move through the city and whatnot. We get a chance to get in there because the building was already secure, so we got a little chance to rest or whatnot.
Yeah.
We get up and we move out, man. And as we move to our first checkpoint, man. And when we get there, I don't remember us being there for long, but when the sun came up, bro, it must have been the whistle blast for let the games begin. Cause soon the sun came up, bro, crack. Like the first round cracked off, and we was into it, man. We was at this cultural center place. I know first platoon, we was in the building across the street from the cultural center. I don't really know much about where second platoon was and why they were there. But I do know that they were at a position trying to get to our position. And the first rounds that we engaged with the enemy was my man Mulak and Russell with their saw. There was a suicide V-bid bungalow truck with 3 enemy in it, and it's wired, bro. I'm talking about 5-gallon drum, 3 5-gallon drums, all that stuff, and they were coming. And Russell and Mulak with their saw, man. We got the thing called canoe head. If you know, you know. But they put them down, man, saved our life. Because them people was already ready to die. They were going to run right into our building with that vehicle, and they stopped it. And simultaneously, man, there was a sniper in the building, man. I mean, there was a sniper in the area. And as our Marines were crossing from the cultural center to get to where we was at, and unfortunately, man, we lost Sergeant Wells, man. Sergeant Wells got hit. Sergeant Jimenez got hit. I'm not gonna try to remember everybody's names, man, because some people got hit in places that I know who they were. I don't know how it happened to them, so I don't talk about the story. And then Gunner Sergeant Shane got hit working to try to get them. Gunner Sergeant Shane's still alive, but those other two brothers of mine, they passed away, man. Now it's setting in, bro. All the stuff we were talking about at ASP Wolf,
right?
The very first day it happened to us, man.
There it is. Yeah, from 0 to 1,000,
it is.
like that.
Yeah, like that, man. There it is. The very first day.
Yeah,
the very first day. Now we got to walk around with this big ass lump in our throat, can't cry for the rest of this fight now.
I remember my brother telling me, we had this, I'd ask him questions. He didn't talk about, same as you. There's a lot of things he didn't really want to talk about. He's probably more willing to talk now, but I remember him saying that it became real evident real fast to him that this was a different kind of enemy, that you realize they have been fighting for centuries. It's like, that's all they do. That's all they know. Yeah, they ain't very good at it necessarily. They're not the most organized and all that. But like you said, suicide, it's like, I'll just go blow myself up as long as I get to take out however many. It's like, fuck it. I mean, it's a whole different mindset. And he's like, he said, it takes its toll on you real fast when you realize, man, that, how real it is, that these dudes they got zero fear of it.
Yeah, bro. Like kamikaze, man. Like my Marines, man, when we would be doing our patrols and stuff, when we get to those known areas where there was IEDs, if we didn't feel safe, we had our scanning method called 5s and 25s. If we didn't feel safe, man, we're gonna do our 5s, 25s. We're gonna get out and we're gonna walk, bro. I don't remember. Well, I know that me personally, I've never experienced being actually my vehicle or my convoy being hit by an IED. I have, and I thank God for that. I've never experienced that. Yeah. If I had to say I was afraid of anything, I'm afraid of ghost bombs, bro. Like, you can't fight bombs. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight a person that's willing to just hide a bomb and blow himself up. Yeah. So that was the most terrifying thing, is like, man, these dudes are kamikaze on the ground. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, the sniper take 2 of our guys, man. And, obviously tanks, we get tanks on deck, and they start leveling buildings and stuff. And come to find out, like you said, man, we aren't fighting the same kind of fighter. It was like the Olympic trials to fight the Americans, man. There were Syrians and Russians and obviously Iraqi people and whoever else was over there, man. These dudes came over with freaking they Russian sniper rifles, or they AKs, flip-flops, and a canteen, dog, and some bullets. That's it. Yeah. They came over, just want to kill Americans. Man. They have nothing else to live for. I just want to take some Americans out. Yeah. So we wait till nightfall later that night, and we use smoke grenades to throw out in the front for the distraction or whatever, and we come out the back. And this is, give or take, man, this is the Marine Corps birthday. This is Marine Corps birthday. Yeah, I remember it's Marine Corps birthday because we was on the rooftop, and Mike Ramirez, as he and I was shooting at the sniper, big Indian cat, man, from San Antonio or somewhere around San Antonio. Man, we make it back out of this, man. I'm getting fucked up. And I didn't even drink at the time. I said, man, I might join you. Okay, black ass, I'm gonna hold you to it. You know what I'm saying? He held me to it too. I'll tell you that story later. But yeah, so we move, man, and we move to our next checkpoint, man. And this is towards the middle of the city, Phase Line Grace, I think. And as we're moving, before we left, remember, the I think it was the colonel. The colonel said, if the Iraqi Special Forces in your OYO, right, without chaperones, them is enemy. We're on this patrol. Nathan Anderson, my man, his platoon, his team. They call over the radio. So we got Iraqi Special Forces ahead. My mind, bro, I'm in the back. Now, when you're patrolling, you're on dispersion. You want to make sure that you got enough dispersion so you are out of the cure radius for hand grenades and all that kind of stuff. So it's
Yeah.
5 meter radius, in a staggered column in all directions, right? And at nighttime, you moving, you not working, you're not trying to make no noise and all that kind of stuff. But I hear that over the radio. I'm like, open fire, and they can hear me. So I'm like, open fire, and they can hear me on the piece of crap radio. I immediately go to Rose and Cobus. I say, hey, man, get those machine guns in an avenue of approach and get us somebody in the Overwatch. They take over, they got it, and I start running, bro. I'm a pretty fast cat, man, but I felt like everything in me was in slow motion, man. So I started pumping my arms faster, and I couldn't get up there fast enough. By the time I get up there, man, all hell done broke loose. Boom, 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 boom. This alleyway is lit up. I get into the casualty collection point. Y'all see I had my drink. I've been working on this. I've been knowing me and my brother going to talk. But I get into the casualty collection point, man, and Gunstone Brown had already set it up. It had already been cleared. Casualty collection points where you take your wounded in action or killed in action to get them safely out of there. And when I get up there, hey, Gunstone Brown, what's going on? He's like, man, I think we got 3 hit, and I think Anderson is dead.
Oh.
I said, where they at? He said, I don't know where they at. I said, well, I go get them. Just don't let me die. He said, you can't get hit. We don't have any close air support, any tank support for like 45 minutes. I'm like, bet, just don't let me die. He said, man, be careful. I gunshot. Man, I didn't have a relationship with the Lord at the time, man. But now that I do, when they said God gonna call to your memory, but all I thought about, man, was him picking up Goggin big ass and not being able to move.
Yeah.
I took all that shit off, bro. I said, man, it's dark. And I got the good camouflage going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rely on speed. Forget it. So I took that off, man. And this nervous thing that I do, I hold myself accountable. If I drop my weapon, if I make a mistake, or I drop down, do about 10 push-ups, whatever. Like inside the CCP, man, I drop down, did my push-ups. As I'm getting ready to go out there, Cobus came. I'm like, fuck. Cobus like, hey, sorry, what you need? What do you need? So I need you to get that machine gun in a position, man, to start finding these motherfuckers. I don't know where they at. Okay, sorry, I got you. I don't know what he did and where he went, but he was gone. So now I go. I run out there, man, and they see me, man. I see bullets all around my fucking feet, bro. I'm like, God, damn. I just remember just running, but being in awe at the same time, man.
Yeah.
And I land on top of Kelly. Robert Kelly, man, may he rest in peace, man. He's the son of General John Kelly. Robert Kelly was one of my Marines, man. He was one of the best assaultmen that we had. I'm not saying that because he's dead. I said it because all of Bravo assaultmen was pretty badass. So he's one of the best ones we had. He later became a lieutenant, man, and was leading his Marines in Afghanistan, and passed away later in Afghanistan. A couple of years. I just heard the story a few years back. I didn't hear about it when it happened. But he was a good dude, man. But he's the first guy that I met in the alleyway. And I laid on top of him, like literally on top of him, Kevlar to Kevlar, so he could talk to me. I could talk to him. He was hysterical, man. I'm like, kill him, I need you, bro. Like, where they at? And he's like, oh, I think Anderson's dead. That's all he kept on telling me. I think Anderson's dead. I finally got his attention, like hit him with the Kevlar. Come on, man, I need you, man. Where they at? And he tell me, he said, man, I think Russell's on this side, and I'm not sure who else, but I think Dominus is on that side. And so I'm laying on top of him, and something in me just said go. So I jumped up, man. I ran, and I jumped over this porch. Now, this is like a real alleyway. Like in the back of houses, you got porches and stuff. There's a little vegetation out there too. In addition to palm trees, there's a little vegetation. So I jump over this porch, man. I really am looking for Russell. Russell is the Marine that I know. The other two that I'm about to tell you guys about, I know them because I'm Sergeant McDade, and it's my job to know them, but I didn't have that kind of relationship with them because they were so junior to me.
Yeah.
So I land on this cache of Marines, man, and I don't know why this was happening, but every Marine that I saw, Anderson's face was on them. Maybe because that's who I was thinking about so much, and my adrenaline was pumping and whatever, but I was seeing Anderson's face, and then finally I was able to snap out of it. Hey, who's hit? And Russell said, I'm hit. Man, Russell was hitting his leg, and his leg was hanging on by a piece of flesh as big as your wrist. Like, imagine you're like not your leg, like the big part of your leg, like the femur part. hanging on by a piece of flesh like this. I'm laying on top of him, and I'm taking all his gear off, and we're getting it all off. He's screaming in agony and pain, and the Marines are helping me get his gear and stuff off. And the whole time we're taking his gear off, I'm thinking like, man, how are we gonna make it up out of here, man? And my gun opened up. I don't know who it was shooting the gun, but I know my 240 started rocking. I know my gun. I was able to get Russell up on my shoulder. I just got him up real fast on my shoulder, and I'm running with him. And as I'm running with him across the alleyway, they on me again. Bah, 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 bah. Bah, 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 bah. I'm talking about like letting go on me, bro. And I remember bursts of fire hitting before my feet, hitting behind my feet, hitting before my feet, hitting behind my feet, and it started to get closer. And as it got closer, I remember like, damn, they bracketed me. And I fall into a pothole. Well, a pothole created by the grenades. I guess they were throwing grenades too. I fell into a pothole. I mean, I remember laying on the ground, man, seeing these machine gun bullets hit right by Russell's body as he's screaming and stuff. And he looking at me crying, and bullets hitting by him, and he's saying no. I got a chance to talk to him on May 19th this year. And he told me, I was saying no, not because of the pain, because I seen bullets hitting by you the same way.
Yeah.
And we had a moment, man. But once the burst stopped, I jumped up and I got him in this. We just got married, Carrie, and I kind of just got him to the CCP and got him in there. And we had our corpsman, man. We had I think my man's name was Lewis and Naderman. They were junior to me too. They was 18, bro. 18, 19 years old.
There you go.
They was in shock. Now I grabbed them motherfuckers by the head. I said, man, come on, man, I need y'all, bro. Y'all got this, man. Man, them freaking kids work miracles, man. Russell today still has his real leg, bro. His real leg, no hardware. They was able to get him to Bethesda or wherever he went to, and they got him squared away. So I dropped Russell off, man. I come back out, and this time I was like, man, they can see me, man. So I'm just gonna stay low to the ground. So I'm low crawling because he told me he was on the right side. So I just stay tight to the bulkhead, low to the ground. And as I'm going, man, dirt is flying up all around my face and everything. The little vegetation that was around me was on fire. And I'm still growing. I don't see anything, man. My face is just down. I'm panic feeling, just trying to find my way. And I meet this porch. And I jump over this porch and I accidentally find Dominic. Dominic is Carlos, man. This little Dominican cat, man, from Florida. Probably about 5'6", but again, he another firecracker too. He refused to leave his weapon, take his gear off. I got him back and run him back to the CCP. Get him back there. And now I'm coming out for a third time. As I'm coming out this time, tanks are there. So I'm like, fuck yeah. Now, I don't know if I was doing this for 45 minutes. I truly believe that tanks probably heard what was going on, and they was like, bump this. I'm going over there to help them guys. Right. That's what I believe happened. So tanks come over there. During the tank integration training, I learned about the phone on the back of the tank. I learned about how to talk to the tank. I learned all that stuff. But also, while they were shooting at the tank, trying to get some, I forgot about this hot-ass exhaust on the back of the tank.
Yeah.
So I burnt myself crazy bad on the tank, but I can't leave because I'm going to get shot. So now I'm hanging on to the tank, and I'm talking on the phone. I just got behind the tank now. I'm talking to the tank crew. They use their little night vision capability, and they find an enemy. But before I know what's going on, they've already went through their cadence, and they fired the first volley. Boom! Bro, I'm talking about I'm one arm distance from the tank, man, and they fired. I'm talking about my whole body was like shocked, bro. Like,
I
don't know what to tell you, man. Like, it was like boom, like my whole body. My vision went out. My ears started ringing. Snot was hanging from my nose. I was still standing though, just holding on to the tank. Then they do it again. Boom, and they buckled me.
Oh shit!
I was still crawling. Because I like, man, I don't know where I'm at now. I'm just still crawling. I don't know how long this was for, but my vision stuff come back, and I'm still by the tank. And I get up, and I walk, and I'm over Anderson's body. Stats on Canartha, our cameraman, man, he helped me get Anderson's body and his gear and all that stuff, and we get it back in there. Now we suffered our own casualties from our own platoon now. The same platoon I was saying, lock that shit up, we're experiencing that now. And the hardest part about this alleyway, and I'm not trying to shun on my Marines, I'm just in my little feelings right now. The hardest part about that, man, was now we're in our feelings. Like now we're in the middle of the combat zone. The Marines want to cry. They can't help it. They want to cry.
Yeah.
No, we can't do that. We can't do that. No, this shit can't happen like this. We got to get to it. We can't let this here happen for nothing. We're at the very beginning of this fight. It's midnight, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning on the 11th, 11/11, right? And I got to get everybody in gear. I got the same pain. I got the same tears I want to shed, and we can't do it.
Yeah.
And we can't do it. We move to our next checkpoint the same night. The place that we were supposed to take was blown to crap, man. It was rubble and glass, and it was a very habitable house right next to it. This is our platoon, this is our section, but the Marine Corps is really stickler on discipline, man. Like sometimes I think we get so stuck on following the rules that we have a divorce with common sense.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, man, I'm not really sure how it happened, but some of the leadership got mixed in with our platoon and they started taking over our operation. And they made the Marines go in night vision goggles. As I'm arguing with this, I said, no, man, we're not fucking doing that. We're not doing as I'm arguing with that, so I don't get in trouble and get sitting back to the rear, I just shut up, man. My man Jacob Nospler, he says, hey, don't worry about Day. My team got it. And him and his guys, they tack up, they get the goggles and stuff on. And as they're moving inside of this structure, I hear Nospler, something I had nightmares about, man. I hear Nospler screaming, stop making all that. I think he's about to tell his Marines, stop making all that fucking noise. But before he says it, 2 explosions go off. Then I hear leadership saying, go white light, go white light, go white light. I don't say that to try to bash my leadership. I say that to say that it has to be documented that we got to allow the fight to go the way we trained for it to go. You can't be on the battlefield calling unnecessary audibles when you boots on the deck that have trained their asses off to be able to do this shit.
Yeah.
Same thing like you kicking in doors, going in the houses, man. Somebody out on the radio trying to tell you, no, do the fire like this. No, it needs to go like this.
Yeah.
So go white light, go white light. I'm able to go into the house because I'm a machine gun section leader, man. So I help out my machine guns when I need to. But Cobras and Rose, man, Maluski and Cleghorn, them dudes are badass on the guns, dog. Like they could have did that shit by themselves.
Yeah.
You know, machine guns just operate in pairs. Marines always have a buddy pair with them. So they was able to handle that stuff without me most times. So I'm in the house. I come in white light. As I see a silhouette and I'm getting ready to engage, the silhouette disappears. Man, they done had tunnels dug under the city, man. So this dude ran through the closet, jumped in a hole, and was underground and was gone. Now, Nospler, his mandible is blown off, man. And I remember, I think Stasson Connaught again. He was in there trying to help get him together. When I came over to relieve him, take him out, the Marines helped take him out and got him into the medevac and everything. Some other Marines got hit too. I think Nospler and Hughie, I think, got hit in the house too. Maybe some other guys as well. But now, bro, that's 5-6 Marines in 48 hours.
Yeah.
In 48 hours from our own platoon.
Man.
And then guess what? After we leave that house, we take the house that was already standing.
There you go. Yeah.
So now we're there, man. Now we're in the gut of the city. Man, some of our patrols, man, I remember this one dead Haji, bro. I used to call him Ali. The stray dogs and stuff will go around and eat them and everything. But every day on patrol, man, when we going around, when we stop, I post security. I sit next to Ali, man. I eat this little freaking MRE. Rose was like, "Are you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good, bro." He said, "Man, you be sitting next to the dead dude every day." I said, "Man, he the only one out here that makes sense." He the only one out here that makes sense, man. And I just talked to him until the dogs ate him up, man. And when he became a skeleton, I just stopped talking to him. But we finally get to the bottom of the city, man. We're thinking the city is clear. Now we're on the way back up, only to be fighting Iraqis. So what was happening was, I'm not bashing the army, I'm not praising the Marine Corps. The pace was off. That's all I'm gonna say. The pace was off, and the enemy was able to get in the middle of us. So as we're going back up, we're still fighting. So there's a slew of other Marines that passed away on the same time and mosques and all that stuff. I don't know how it happened, but I know it happened on the way back up through the city. So we finally get back up through the city and we take over the school, and the school is our operating base where we're sending patrols out. Now the fight hasn't, but it's shifting from see the enemy, kill the enemy to let's set conditions to start allowing them to come back into the city now. So now Fallujah, Iraq is considered the bloodiest battle since Way City, Vietnam. If you look that story up, it's crazy. And Fallujah was equally crazy. And we are literally doing a house-to-house, street-to-street structure clearing campaign. We're clearing every single building on every single street in every single block in our sector. No house is going untouched. We're going to get in it some kind of way. We got to blow it up. We can kick it in. We're getting in every house to make sure that it's straight. Well, we've been doing this. I'm talking about 4 o'clock in the morning, getting up 0 dark 30 and doing it 3 or 4 times a day just to get it done. Finally, we're letting them back into the city. And you know how it is, man. Chameleons, the devil, blending in with everybody. Americans, good to go, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Man, we've been doing it so much, man. We hadn't seen any action. We hadn't, nobody was in there. We hadn't found anything. I mean, maybe some cool blankets or something so we could sleep on because it get cold out there. But other than that, we hadn't found anything. We found a couple of weapons caches and stuff like that, AKs and maybe some, 155 shells and stuff, but nothing really found. And we let these people back into the city, and they're praising us and stuff now. And towards the end of our patrol, we're getting ready to, go into another structure. Again, like I said, I'm a machine gun. I don't really know what they're doing when they keep the doors in. I just know that I'm making sure that ain't nobody coming from behind us. I'm able to watch you guys from overhead to give you some suppressive fire on anything that may be approaching from a further distance, for the most part. And I hear these gunshots. Again, my machine gun's in position. I'm out. And I run over there to the house. As I get to the house, may rest in peace, DeMarcus Brown, he's coming out, and I'm talking to him. But then I realized, no, something's wrong. My man took a brunt of AK ammunition, man, to his body. And the corpsman and stuff, they was able to receive him. I get him over to them, and I make entry into the structure. As I come into the structure, all the Marines are in there, and as they are making their way out, the guy comes from behind them. As I'm making entry, it throws a grenade. I scream grenade, but the grenade goes off. Gabriel is down now. What I remember, Gabriel is down now. And the Marines made it out, but Gabriel is down now. We couldn't keep everybody in the house because shooting and all this stuff inside the house, the bullets were going everywhere. So we put our own selves at risk. So we had to have a team go in to take this guy down, not everybody.
Yeah.
And Gabriel is inside the house. So Corporal Goss and myself, as the Marines are figuring out how to get inside this building, Corporal Goss and I, we go to another building and say, we're going to try to clear it from the top down. So we'll go inside this house, clear it, it's clear. We jump from one roof to the other roof because there was a ladder well that we thought would have led us inside the house. It led us right back to the front ladder well. So all the Marines are out. Gabriel is still there. Goss sees movement, so Gabriel is still alive. I got a flashbang grenade, and we know that the enemy is in the far left corner of the house. I'll put flashbang in, we make entry, and we go into the first room at the front of the house. So the way the house was set up is when you come through the front door, if you're standing at the front hatchway, there's 2 rooms on the left, there's a room direct front, there's 2 rooms on the right, and then there's a room directly if you button hook. Like if you came out and just kept your right foot in place and just walked in a circle, it'll be a room right there. But the enemy was in the far left room. So the room that we made entry into shared the same wall to the room that he was in. And the room that we was in was like a living room setting, had like a couple of sitting chairs and a couch and like a little table. So as Goss and I are in there, we stacked on the hatch, we're getting ready to come out and make entry. We see Gabriel. Goss covers down on the hatch. I come out and I grab Gabriel, and as I grab Gabriel, I see that his body is folded in half. He's He's dead.
Yeah.
So no, I'm sorry, I skipped the part. We was in the living room, and before we got ready to come out, Sean Williams came in. Sean Williams came in to check the plan and make sure, because the enemy was already dug in. He's already dug in. He's fortified his position. He took all the furniture and stuff and bunkered himself in his room. So as Sean Williams is talking to us or whatever, telling him, man, get in the stack. We getting ready to go. We hear the door open. We're not thinking about Gabriel. We're thinking about the enemy. Well, what he was doing was he opened up and started shooting Gabriel more times. I think he shot like 3 more times. I don't know why this voice came over me, man, because rage wanted to be like, go out there and just go at this freaking guy. Man, I took a couch cushion off the couch, and I threw the big couch cushion out there. He unloaded a burst of ammunition, and then his bolt locked to the rear. And all 3 of us was out there. Boom, 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 boom. As they're shooting, I dragged Gabriel to the door. The team from outside come grabs Gabriel, get him out of there. Now Gabriel's gone. As we shoot, they telling us, hey, the rounds are coming through the house. Try to avoid shooting if you can. So the enemy, he is in this room. I'm the most athletic. Will is going to shoot, and Goss is the biggest person we have. I think Goss like 6'2", just big boy. So I take everyone's grenades. I said, Goss, you the biggest and the strongest, so you'll kick the door. I'll throw a grenade. Will, you'll shoot to keep him down. And we did that like 5 times, man. And but every time we did it, the explosion would make this black soot type smoke. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it took us a lot longer to do it, but we did it. Finally, on the fifth rotation of doing that, the guy, he comes and throws his body against the door. So Goss kicks the door open for him. I take my 9mm out, reach around the side of the door, unload the clip on him, see the little blood come up from under the door. We drag him out, bend the door open, drag him out. And I said, man, this dude that was fucking waving at us. So as I'm this shit, Goss is like, hey, McDade, that was my Marine, man. Okay, bro, I got you. So 2 shots later, we're coming out of the house. And our platoon commander said, hey, McDade, I heard 2 distinct shots. I just said I was missing a accomplishment. And we're getting ready to leave. And didn't sit right with him. He's like, what do you mean mission accomplishment? The guy who killed our guys is no longer breathing. Mission accomplishment. But it was 2 distinct shots. I don't know what to tell you, sir. We keep it moving. We go through the rest of that. We go through the rest of that time, man. We're doing our patrols and stuff. And it got to the point where the enemy, I don't know how, I think maybe it's our interpreters or something, man. The enemy must learn our rules of engagement. Because now it got to the point where they can shoot at us, but if we don't see them physically with the weapon, then we can't shoot them.
Yeah.
I told my Marines, I mean, I didn't say it then, but now, bullshit, no, they going to get it. If I see you shooting me, bitch, I don't care if you drop the weapon or not. I don't care if you drop it or not. Like, you gonna get what you need to get.
Yeah.
And I never had to do that, fortunately. Never had to do that. There's one time we almost did it, and I'm saying that because of a photo that I recently seen. We thought these guys were shooting at us. We just got into an engagement. We thought these guys were shooting at us, and I still believe they were. We just weren't good enough to find how, wherever they hit the weapons at, we weren't good enough to find them. Because if I'd have found the weapons, I was going to the brig or something, because they ass wasn't coming home.
Yeah.
But either way, we detained them guys. We brought them back. Man, on Thanksgiving, man, we getting ready to, this deployment is coming to an end. Like, we're not really fighting as much anymore. You still got the resistance and stuff, but you got people working to get their life back. They're like, man, we ain't got no army no more. The Taliban done split up between everybody, kind of blended in. Everybody's, yeah, thank you for getting rid of people. Just trying to blend in. But most of them are all damn terrorists for the most part.
Yeah.
But on Thanksgiving, man, we got a meal. It wasn't a real Thanksgiving meal, but it was the longest time we done had hot food instead of sitting around burning, pissing shit with JP8 freaking jet fuel and everything, eating MREs. Thanksgiving, I want to say second platoon, man. They were going to this complex, and our platoon now, man, we've already been deemed we're not fit for duty. We're combat inoperable, bro. We done lost too many guys. We got to stay back. Like I said, even though there's some more stories. I know, I want to say Miller died in the mosque. I know how it happened, but I wasn't there when it happened. You know, David Hawk. I don't know how he passed away, but he was the first. He was in our company as well. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happened. But as an attachment, I can tell you, man. Like sometimes in the city, bro. Like I had my map and my imagery and everything, but sometimes I was just going around the city like it was my own hood.
Yeah.
Like Rose would get on my ass. Rose was like, man, I get it, man, bro, but man, we ain't got no cover. I said, man, we got to get to the best spot we can to support these guys.
Yeah.
Where we trying to get to in our comfort zone, we can't shoot nobody from there.
Yeah.
So we was on our own most of the time, man. And my Marines always took care of me, bro. Like I fell asleep on the curb one time. I was so exhausted. They just got avenue of approach and got overwatch and gave me about 10, 15 minutes. They say, hey, man, you good? I woke up. I said, yeah, let me go sleep on the curb. Like, yeah, man. In the middle of the combat zone, bro.
Yeah.
But on Thanksgiving, man, they at this complex and we're on fire watch. So we manage security and stuff of the school. And I'm on radio watch. And I hear all this stuff happening, man. Staff Sergeant Perry is out. I hear Staff Sergeant Perry outside the building, shooting inside the building because they done fortified this whole place to channelize you into the machine gun fire and all kind of booby traps and stuff. And not Staff Sergeant Perry, he was gunner at the time, I think, but you know what I mean. And I was able to hear, man, one of our Marines, Gentian Marcoux, man, like I heard him as he was taking his last breath over the radio, bro.
Man.
And they won't let us jump out of the wire. We can't leave to go help them. They're within a good 5-minute run distance from us, so we can make it to them.
Yeah.
And they won't let us go. And on Thanksgiving, man, we had to sit there and eat that, man. Sit there
Oof.
and listen to all the stuff happen over the radio. And they come back 4 or 5 guys, you know what I'm saying, less.
Yeah.
We finished that deployment, bro. We leave Fallujah, give or take the first or second of December. Because Thanksgiving, I remember Thanksgiving was towards the end part of the year. It's like a 28th or something, I think, that year, 26th, 28th or something like that. And we finally got out of the city, give or take in December. We got back to Camp Fallujah, man. It just wasn't the same, man. You go inside your squad bay and stuff, your tent bay, and Wells rack there, Anderson rack there, and you see the guys who got injured, and you know you come back to see, damn man, you got shot in the face, bro, or man, you got this injury that happened to you, and learn all the stories about what second platoon, third platoon, and all these other people experience. Man, it was just a big ass memorial, man. And
Yeah.
Marines are stupid. We do the best we can to have a good time, especially first platoon, man. They used to do these crazy charades. They would dress up and do all kind of get the red Kool-Aid and make, do stupid stuff to kind of keep us laughing. But we was in pain, man. We was in pain.
Yeah.
We leave, go to Alisade, do the whole, go back out and stuff. And we get back home to Lejeune, February 1st, 2005. February 1st, 2005. We pull up to Lejeune off the buses, and I remember me, Adam Nahar, and Brandon Billiot, my mortarman. They're my mortarman. They say, so I'm a dad, can we talk for a minute? Everybody getting off the bus, they're embracing their families and stuff. Like, can we
Yeah.
talk for a minute? I said, yeah, man, what's up? They say, man, what do we do if we don't want to get off the bus? I said, I don't want to get off the bus either.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, I don't think you understand. I said, I do understand. I said, I don't want to see my wife. I don't want to see my kids. I want the bus to just turn around and take us back.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, what do we do? We serve. We gotta serve, man. The women did something for us, and we experienced something, and maybe they
Right.
got a little bit of we can get back. And we get
Yep.
off the bus, man, and we work to embrace our family, and then a new fight starts.
Yep. You know, the one thing I almost talked about this earlier, but I wanted you to continue. So I've had this conversation with a bunch of people since I started this, and when they ask me, what does life warrior mean? What is it? What's the definition of it, and all that. And I explained it to them. I put it out there. Anyone engaged in a conflict or struggle of any kind that alters the course of your life, that changes the way you live, sees life, that you treat people, it completely shifts your life in a different path.
Yeah.
and and then I'll tell them, I found this definition uh, by looking up the definition of warrior, what a warrior was, and anybody trained in combat. Pretty simple, right? Anybody trained in
Right.
combat. And and I just scrolling and I looked at the bottom. There was a little excerpt from there, like a little addition that said anyone engaged in any sort of conflict or struggle. And and so that was it. I was like, you're a warrior, but that part, conflict and struggle, is life. That's
Yeah.
waking up when you don't want to, going to work when you don't want to, taking care of your kids when you don't want to, and doing that shit every day, monotonous every day. That's life shit. But it's also warrior shit. Warrior for your family or warrior for your life. But and I said, here's the difference. And because they were talking about, well, somebody was, I don't remember, somebody jabbed at me for, warrior, being a warrior or whatever. And I said, I said, I got friends that are Marines that watched their friends die. And my brother was that. And a, having to be a warrior, a true warrior, and go fight combat. And I'll never
Right.
forget my brother telling me this. And coming back, when you come back, and now you got to get off the bus, and now you got to go make a complete 180 of going. Now I'm just a civilian. I'm just a dude. After that, after what I just went through, I
Right.
got to be a regular dude. And now you got to go from being a warrior to doing life. And
Yeah.
now you're a life warrior. It's like they're the same. You got now, and that's worse. I remember my brother telling me that, like, war was easier.
Yeah.
War was easier.
It's black and white.
Yeah,
It's
it's straight up. Like,
black
you
and white.
kill. There they are. You kill them, and don't let them kill you. Simple. And life
Man, ironically enough,
is
oh,
harder.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, life is harder after that. It's
Yeah.
having to be normal.
Man, ironically enough, I'm like I told you guys, I'm not sure if I told you guys last time we talked, but I'm a minister for Church 365. We call it the Pocket Church. Small enough to fit in your pocket, big enough to impact your life. We meet every morning at 7:14 based off 2 Corinthians at 7:14. And this morning we talked about James 1, verse 2 through 4. And it says, count it all joy, my brother, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And I'm honored by that scripture, man, because I tell everyone, and I tell you guys this too, you can always find yourself between a memory and a moment, and both of them are scary because you got some memories that you haven't fully processed. You got
Yeah,
some memories that you still got your fence closed, your fist all closed tight. You haven't let go of. You haven't given it to God. You haven't figured out how to let go of it. And it's scary for you to open that bag and really see what was in it because you remember what was in it. But
yeah,
then you got a moment that you're not prepared for. But what I need us to understand is when you find yourself in between that memory and that, you got to muster the courage to go into that memory to get that good from that memory so you can execute that moment. If I
yeah,
don't go through the crack addicted parents, the extreme poverty, childhood, the abuse, the all the things I experienced, I wouldn't have the head, heart, stomach to really be able to go out there and take what God prepared me for in the middle of all of that ugliness that the world
yeah,
had to offer.
yeah,
Between a memory and a moment.
yeah. I like that, man. You always have things, man. You're you and my dad were a lot alike in that. My dad always had he'd just come up with these things. And when I was a kid, I'd be like, it's hard for me to make sense of them, and,
Yeah.
and, but as an adult now, I look back and I'm like, man, that was wise as shit. What you said, simple, and
Yeah.
and I pass them along now. Like I pass them along to whoever, and it's
You
things
got
like,
to, man.
and so, man, you know, we talked about this before. It's going from, the hardest part for me as a firefighter was, man, high angle rescue, trench rescue, all all this stuff that you do and you're trained for it, and everybody asks you, what do you do? Firefighter, man, I'm a firefighter, and it's like, that's what you do. That's your whole existence. And then
Right.
you turn in that piece of paperwork, and now what are you? Now I'm just a guy. I don't do any of that shit anymore. And
Yeah.
that was the hardest pill to swallow. Was like, man, I'm just a freaking civilian trying to freaking survive a divorce and mom
Yeah.
dying and all this stuff, trying to being broke and all that. I'm like, shit, man,
Yeah.
all that was for what? Now here I am doing life warrior shit, trying to figure out
Yeah.
how the fuck to survive just living. And
Yeah.
man, so I got a good friend of mine who I was in Oklahoma with a couple weeks ago on the weekend. He was in Fallujah too. He was army. He was
Yeah.
army, and we had some conversations about stuff, and him remembering friends of his that died, and then having to watch them walk out of these mosques and stuff with their weapons in their hand, you know, letting these guys go free after fighting them for so long. And,
Right.
them, like you said, fighting from the mosques and fighting from the cemeteries and, you know, and doing all that shit. And he said that how much he still, and after all this time, it eats him alive, that he had to watch those dudes walk away with their weapons after killing his friends, you know,
Yeah.
and and so man,
Oh boy.
yeah, and so man, I couldn't imagine. It's that same thing. It's like you said, man, it going from zero, like training all that time. I mean, years that you put in, and being on a ship and sitting tight and being at a base and chilling and hanging out, and that going from that to it is on from a 0 to 1,000 right
Yeah.
now. And I go from
Yeah.
having friends one day to not having friends in a split second. And so, um, here's the cool and about Aubrey, y'all, is y'all can sense and see that he is a true man's man. That's just the way his thought process is. That was my dad too. That's what he instilled in me. But even that, part of that being a man's man is also being willing to say that I'm fucked up. I'm, I'm, and there ain't nothing I can do to fix it, or I need help. I need some help to help me fix it. And and I went through that same thing, 7 years of just fighting it on my own, thinking I'll be fine. And until you realize it affects everybody around you, right? And
Yeah.
and your wife, your kids, and you realize that ain't now I got to do life warrior shit. I got to go find somebody to help me get past some of this shit so I can be a better dad, better, husband, a better friend, whatever that looks like. So the rest of my life isn't shit. Right. And,
Yeah.
and so I've learned a lot from you, man, in a short period of time. And I I've told you this before. I look at you and feel as though there's a brotherhood, and that's a big deal to
Yeah,
me. And
you my man, bro.
and I'm proud as shit to know you, and proud to have you on this podcast, and whatever comes from all this that we end up doing together, we've already talked about it, and adding some more things when it's time to get in the weight room, man. I think do some.
Yeah. I knew that was coming. I'm not dying to you, bro. I'm underground right now.
No, it's
Yeah, I'm
good. No,
underground. Yeah,
and I get
but
it. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day it's a year anniversary of his brother dying in a drunk driving accident, and he finally admitted he's depressed and he's struggling, drinking too much, and all that, and I'm like, man, that's just part of it, and
yeah,
it doesn't mean you're lesser of a person, or you're not strong or whatever. It's just it is what it is. And so you gotta take your time to fight through whatever it is, and it happens to me all the freaking time. My wife will tell you I go through these 2 week stints sometimes of like, man, I'm good, to 2 weeks I'm fucked up and I don't even know why I'm fucked up.
yeah.
And short with people, and for whatever reason, and I'm sure your wife's the same. Mine finally is able to go, hey, I'm here. What's your problem? And just a hug, and going, I got you.
Yeah.
And but sometimes you got to sink back a little bit. At least I do, into your family or friends or whoever, and you got to pull yourself back from the limelight of everybody else to deal with your shit for a minute. And that's just the way it is.
You have to, man. And you got me in my vein for a minute, so I'm gonna give you something, man. The same scripture that I read, man. The first part it talks about, it says, "Call it out joy." And you think about it, man. How do you keep it joyful? Like you work out, you kind of retarded that way. Like you like the pain and all that other stuff, but average people, they don't like going to get their ass kicked in the gym, right? They
Yeah.
don't like it.
Yeah.
In that moment, they don't have that joy. But
Yeah.
then when they get up in the morning, they get out of the shower like, oh snap, I got a Spider-Man body, I got little guns. Oh
Yeah.
wow. Now their joy starting to feel.
Yeah.
When you in that moment of torment and that muscle is being torn, how do you keep your joy? When you think about it, when you burn in electrolytes, you turn down that muscle, you got to replenish and refeed.
Yeah.
So you got to replenish and refeed to keep your muscles and your electrolytes full. You got to rejoice to keep your joy full. Now, I don't say rejoicing is going to stop anything bad from happening, because the only reason rejoicing exists is because something bad has happened already. Something
Right.
that you don't like, something that's going through, you know what I'm saying, this making you discomfort. But discomfort is temporary. And ebbs and flows gets you to your goal point a lot faster than flat ground.
Yeah.
People don't believe that. Say, man, you talking about going up and down? I said, yeah, man, going up and down hills gets you to the destination faster than flat ground.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
So when I know that it's inevitable. Now when I wake up in the morning, I say, Lord, I got to go through some shit today. Give me
Yeah.
what I need to be able to manage it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? When I say shit, for everybody who's watching, using God and cursing, no, shit for me is an acronym. It's strength and hope and transformation. Whatever I'm going to experience today is going to transform me some kind of way.
Yeah.
They're going to transform me some kind of way. So Lord, give me the strength and the hope to be able to go through it. Because you got to go through it to get to it.
I knew what you meant. I was wondering if you were going to
Yeah.
remind everybody what that
I don't
was.
be entertaining people, man. People like to judge and people like to jump to conclusions. I look for the message. So I have found the courage in my memories and my moments to go back
Yeah.
to my memory and dig through all of the crap and find the good stuff from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure that people are good with me, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just love folks, but I don't do that, seeking people approval and stuff. I'm
No.
gonna do day to day, bro. You know me.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It ain't worth it. it's
Yeah.
just, what you talked about. I always tell people at the end of when I do my lives and stuff, when I'm having a conversation with anybody, I always say, you know, for me, every day I wake up and when I turn around and I put my feet, as soon as my feet touch the floor, I just take a deep breath and inside myself just go, all right, man, stand your ass up and go do life warrior shit today. And,
Right.
and that's just a reminder to me. And I saw something, uh, on this, you know, and I don't know if you've seen this, the old school rapper KRS-One.
Yeah.
So I watched him give a speech the other day that blew my mind, man. And, he talked about, um, how you find your soul. And it blew my mind the way he said it. He said, he told everybody in the audience on the count of three, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. And on the count of three, in inner voice, I want you to just say hip hop. Don't say it out loud. Don't speak it. Just say it inner voice. He's like, all right, count 1, 2, 3. And he said, now you just spoke in an inner voice. You didn't open your mouth. Your lips didn't open. There was no sound that came out of your mouth. But did you hear in your brain and in your chest and your soul what you just heard, what you just said? And everybody's like, you hear the words you say. You don't even say them, but you can hear them. It's like silence, but you can hear the words you just said. He's like, who do you think's speaking those words? He's like, that is your soul that lives in you that's talking. And you can hear it. Nobody else can, but you can hear it. So I'm like, man. And then he said that was like a 5,000-year-old Egyptian technique. I can't remember what he called it. He goes, that's how they found their soul. That's how they realized they had a soul. There was a something else that lived in them because they could speak inner and they could hear it. And they realized it's their soul speaking to them. And, and I was like, man, he goes, and just think that soul of yours, you wonder why you have memories? That soul of yours remembers all those memories, all those bad things or good things that happened to you way in your past. It knows them. That's not you. That's your soul that remembers them all. And that's why you can remember things from years past as a kid or whatever. That's your soul that is taking that in. And I'm like, man. And he said, but here's the thing. You hear about manifestation. Your soul can also see your future. And it knows what your future's going to be. All you got to do is speak it inner. This is what's coming for me. And that's your soul telling you, yeah, that's what, and I was like, it gave me goosebumps. I was like, man, I never heard it like that before. And I thought, man,
It gave me goosebumps, bro.
I'll remember it. I'll never forget. I'll remember that for the rest of my life is that, that's your soul. You don't have to say words. You can hear yourself speak. That's your soul speaking to you. And so,
man, my big mama, man, she taught me that when I was little. I used to sneak banana pudding. And she taught me the difference between my soul and my spirit.
yeah.
And she made banana pudding and she said, Aubrey, you can't have none until tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. But I know she's gonna go to sleep about 8:30, so probably about 10 o'clock, I'm gonna be in there. And she told me, she said, babe, when you sneaking that banana pudding that you don't think Big Mama know you sneaking, are you thinking about being quiet so I can't hear you? Like, yes, ma'am. She said, that's your soul. And she said, do you know it's wrong when you're doing it? You know Big Mama told you not to do it? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, that's your spirit. She said, you need to listen to that spirit because that soul gonna get your ass beat.
That's all.
Man, thank you for that, bro.
That's funny, man. I never heard that before
Yeah,
either. That's funny. Yeah, boy,
yeah.
man. Well, Aubrey, man. So we ended up last time, talking, and I always ask, you know, everybody at the end, if you have one or two major things, motivation, whatever it is, for people, what I call, life warrior sayings or anything, what would that one or two things be?
I think I gave them already, man. I'm gonna reiterate though. Um, I need y'all to understand the power. Now I'm using the real word this time. I need y'all to understand the power of shit, like the actual thing, feces, what you call it, manure,
Yeah.
all the other kind of stuff. We're in a place we're in, good, bad, or indifferent, however you see it, it's because we had to go through some shit to get here. It's your workout plan from the Lord. It's the Lord prescribing you something hard enough to go through so you can be prepared to receive the promise He got for you.
Yeah.
I don't know what He got for me, but I feel like Christmas is coming, y'all.
Yeah.
I feel like Christmas is coming. I finally got the courage to start writing this book. I finally had a place in my life where I don't even have a job. I got my retirement, my disability stuff, and I'm just thugging it out and just getting this done. I'm not answering the questions for nobody, no job. I'm just I'm just doing my thing. I'm just following that voice that we were talking about. So, man, let's stop complaining about the stuff that's happening and start looking for the lesson from it. You get a lesson and a blessing and one and the same and everything we experience, but there's nothing that you go through that was a pointless experience. Not one thing. There's not one thing you go through that was a pointless experience. And once you embrace it that way and you start understanding that I have to give it to God, faith and action is my responsibility equals God's outcome. God has the outcome. It's not even our responsibility. I had a whole plan on what I'm going to do about a whole bunch of stuff, and it never comes out that way.
Yeah.
So stop worrying about outcomes.
Yeah.
I like to tell people this story about this monkey. I give the story real fast. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but it's a cool story and it makes sense. So I asked people, hey, do you know how to catch a monkey? They said, no, man. They have this wooden box and they cut a hole in it big enough for the monkey to put his hand inside of it. And they put a banana in it because monkeys have this great, keen sense of smell. But
Yeah.
monkeys are cocky, they're arrogant. They kind of like Michael Jordan. They can
Yeah.
do anything. They don't care. The poachers don't even have to hide. They go about 20, 30 feet away, stand the box up in the way to where the monkey gonna be able to get over there and smell the banana. The monkey comes over there, fits his hand inside the box, feels the banana, got it. But he can't get his hand out.
Yep.
And the poacher's like, yep, he got it. They walking over there to him. Instead of him like finding something else to do, he put his feet on the box and he trying to pull a banana out the box.
Yeah.
They pick the box up. He's hanging from the daggone box. Hold on to the banana because he's convicted.
Yeah.
And he can free himself. He just let go.
Yep.
A lot of people are afraid to open their hands and let go of banana they're holding on to, whether it be
Yep.
bills, whether it be relationships, whether it be combat, whether it be poverty, whether it be you got molested. Unfortunately, it sucks, but it's a part of your story.
That's
It's
it.
part of the recipe that makes you amazing. Like, and when you get a chance to embrace it, like, man, I had to go through some crazy ass stuff. I can't wait till I get to the good stuff. Let me just walk the line so I
Yep.
don't miss out on the good stuff. I didn't want to go through all this for nothing.
Right.
And that's where I'm at, man. And you can only do that by serving. You can only do that by serving. The life that we have right now is not about us. It's not our legacy. Your legacy, I think it was Jim Carrey said, the greatest currency you have is what you do for others or how you help others, something like that. Man, game, set, match. That's it for me. Let me help some people. Let me make sure
Yeah.
I do that.
Yep. And that's exactly why, I started this, and you do what you do. Um, I like to think I got that part figured out, that
Yes, sir.
serving is the way. Now you just got to figure out the rest. How to
Yeah.
get the message out, right? To the
Now,
masses.
just keep on serving and let it be a surprise. Just keep on
Yeah,
serving and let it be a surprise.
that's it. It always
Because when you're
is.
ready for it, yeah, when you're ready for it, then God gonna give it to you with a bow on it.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
agree. It's like I always tell, Anna, sometimes I have to go do live stuff. I know it's part of the deal that I got to go do the social media stuff, but I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go sit
Right.
and talk for an hour to a bunch of people. I don't want to do it. And she always has to remind me, like, every time you do it, something comes from it. And sure enough, it's like
Yeah.
every time I do, it's like, hey, I can't believe I found you. I'm going through this right now, and and it saved me. I can't tell you how many times that's happened. And so, like I said, I know it's the right thing, and doing even having these conversations with you, I know it's the right thing, and so,
Yeah.
and I look forward to whatever comes for both of us with this thing.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited about it, whatever that looks like. I don't know yet, but I guess first thing we got to do is get our ass in the weight room once.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right, man. Well, let me get to it, the fam, bro.
yeah,
I'm gonna catch up with you in a minute, man.
yeah, Aubrey, appreciate it. Again, y'all
Love and respect, bro.
go
You already know what it
check out
is,
the
man.
YouTube page, y'all. Like and subscribe. Pass it along to as many people as you can that you think will hear the message. Go to the website, lifewarriorunited.com. The merchandise is out there right now on the shop right now. It's the 14-day pre-sale going on. So get your new Life Warrior merchandise right now. And let's get this message spread out. Aubrey, I appreciate you. And man, I look forward to seeing you soon.
My man, peace, bro.
Peace.